And we're recording.
Hello there.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the 9th episode of That
Wait.
Was a Precise Cut.
Yeah. Wait.
But the name of the episode isn't, the name of the show isn't The Precise Cut, but
That would
wait.
have been actually a good name for a podcast. That was a precise cut. When you talk about like your political takes and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And it's very precise.
But, this is Wait, I've Seen It Before. And we are in the crux of our show, I guess.
Yeah.
In a very dramatic sense. But
The thing is that we usually want to talk about stories that are being told again.
yes.
This is not one of them.
Yeah, this one we took a different approach. We thought there's this guy, if you don't know him, his first name is Ridley, his last name is Scott.
Not to be confused with his brother,
Scott Ridley?
Tony Scott.
Yeah, whatever. And this dude, who, despite the fact that he's 81 years old, older than my grandparents, made 2 movies this year.
Well, I think one of them is pushed back, right?
Maybe, I don't know, but like,
No, filming took place in 2020.
yeah, there
No,
you go.
fuck you. You made them both.
He literally made both 2 movies last year, and two movies that are not like an hour and a half, 2 hours. No. Both of these movies are 2.5 hours. That's 5 hours of runtime. Jesus
Yeah.
fucking Christ.
And there are a lot of similarities between the two. Adam Driver is in both of them,
Yes.
and that's the only way the similarities go. They
No.
both have one actor who doesn't give a shit, and it feels like it's from another movie.
There you go, another similarity.
Yes, and
They're both actually based on true stories too.
yeah, there's another similarity. One of them is good, one of them is bad.
I kind of disagree with that, but
Yeah, you don't
we'll
like
get to it. Yes, we're here to talk about The Last Duel and House of Gucky.
The favorite joke of YMS,
Yeah,
House of Guck.
the
The
two-
House of Gucci.
House of Gucci.
Which one should we talk about first, though?
I think we should start with The Last Duel.
Yeah.
Uh,
Now, a little bit behind the scenes. First of all, as we said in the last episode, we are recording these back to back.
Yeah,
So, you may have heard us talk about this movie in the last episode. But aside from that, we had an unpublished episode where
Yes.
we discussed this movie, so we sort of know our positions into it because we don't discuss these beforehand.
Yeah.
Our positions.
yeah.
So we like to do it live, but now we sort of know our positions on this movie,
Yes.
and the position is I like it, you don't.
That is true. We're talking
Yeah.
about that
Last Duel. We're not talking about House of Kaki
yet.
yet.
So, I mean, let's start.
Yeah. First, a bit of a story. It's based on a real story.
I mean, even before that, are you a fan of Ridley Scott?
I am a fan of a lot of his work, and I hate a lot of his other work. To be honest, Ridley Scott is one of those directors that are, much like Spielberg, I can always sort of rely on his expertise as a director, but he doesn't always make stuff that I like. But even when he does that, I can honestly admit that, yeah, he knows how to make a good-looking movie, basically.
I agree. He's quite the technician.
Yeah.
I can say even more so than Spielberg.
Yeah, is that unlike Spielberg has a sort of a style, Scott doesn't have a style. At least not that I can think of. He has a certain narrative style, which I'll talk about in The Last Duel, because his movies are usually a few different categories. They're either incredibly personal about one person's journey, which is your alien, your Martian, your sadly Gladiator, because I really
Kind
don't-
of Blade Runner.
kind of Blade Runner, yeah. Then he has his historical epics, which is like Kingdom of Heaven, The Last Duel,
Again, Gladiator.
Gladiator, yeah. I really don't like Gladiator. I don't know why people like that movie. I seriously, do you like it?
I kind of do.
I like Kingdom of Heaven a lot more. And then he has his I don't know what to call them except movies about people being unnecessarily greedy and evil, which is like House of Kaki, you're all the money in the world.
I haven't seen that movie yet.
Actually, I do recommend that because that's a good movie. And that's one of the reasons that, for example, I'm not happy when I see a Ridley Scott movie. Let's see a Ridley Scott movie. No, I don't really
You mean
care.
excited because
Yeah.
happy is a bit, Anyway,
Yeah, that's exactly that. I'm not very excited about watching a Ridley Scott movie, but most of the time, he has surprised me more often than I can imagine. Like before watching Last Duel, I was this is going to be a too long, boring mess. And I actually did care. All the Money in the World. For those of you who don't know, it's the movie that they removed Kevin Spacey from and added Christopher Plummer.
like a
in.
month before release.
Yeah. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't care if you're a fan of Kevin Spacey. That's for you to decide. I'm not a big fan. But I don't know how he would have played this character, but J. Paul Getty is literally written for Christopher Plummer. Like, he's so good in this movie. So I'm sorry, it was the right decision to make. And I'm sorry, I need to see what... I know he made a movie called The Weatherman, which I really don't like.
Well, he has Tom and Louise, which I think is in his top 3.
Yeah, he has Black Hawk Down.
He has Black Hawk Down. Okay, let me first of all clear my stance on the man.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I used to like him quite a lot, but like when you hit that post Black Hawk Down era, which I think is his downfall time.
I kind of disagree.
Do you?
Yes, because of one movie, American Gangster, which for those of you who haven't seen it, you should.
It's not a good movie.
It's a great movie.
Dude, come
It's
on.
a great movie.
It's a ripoff.
It's a ripoff of what?
Huh?
It's a ripoff of...
Martin Scorsese ripoff.
What is more black? Martin Scorsese is not a very good...
Okay, I give it that, but like,
Okay, let's see. After that, he made... I'm sorry, I wasn't talking The Weatherman. It was Matchstick Men, in which Nicolas Cage, I think, plays the Weatherman.
I haven't seen it.
That's a good movie. Kingdom of Heaven, I do like. A Good Year, I don't remember. American Gangster, I do like. Body of Lies was shit.
Body of Lies is notable for only one thing.
Yeah.
It was Goldshifter Pharaoh's first movie outside of era.
Yeah. So it's important for us. Robin Hood was a piece of shit.
Robin Hood
Prometheus
was bad.
Was bad, but in an interesting way. I'm serious.
You mean in contrast to Covenant, right?
Yeah, in contrast to Covenant, because Prometheus, I think, could have been better if it wasn't trying to be connected to Alien.
And so up its own ass.
What?
And so much up its own ass.
I mean, I didn't really mind that because I really didn't care about those stuff because it felt like the characters were up their own ass, not the movie. But when they mentioned Alien and tried to do that, it's like, oh, no. It's not the characters, it's the movie. The Counselor was a piece of shit. Okay,
Such a disappointing movie.
Who wrote Counselor?
I don't know.
Because I think it was Cormac McCarthy, yeah.
Oh.
It was written by Cormac McCarthy, and I'm like...
Yeah, right.
For those of you who don't know who is Cormac McCarthy, he's the guy who wrote No Country for Old Men.
How do you not know him?
Yeah, he's one of the greatest.
He's quite excellent.
Did he wrote On the Road?
No, it's just The Road.
The Road. Who wrote On the Road?
I have no idea.
Jack Kerouac. Oh, literary fact right there. The Martian, I actually liked. I know a lot of
I
people.
think from Black Hawk Down to The Martian, he had the down period, and then after The Martian, if you look at it, like besides Alien Covenant, obviously,
Yeah.
you have All the Money in the World,
which I
you have The
really
Last Duel, and you have House of Gucci.
That's a cock. And then we have Napoleon, which is in development. What the fuck?
Yeah,
dude?
he's making a movie.
Retire.
I think like Jodie Comer was supposed to be in it, but she pulled out last minute. And
Jodie Comer is the lady in the Last Duel, right?
yeah. And Joaquin Phoenix is going to be there too as Napoleon.
Why? He doesn't look like him. Why not use a French actor? I know they're not very good, but why do you?
Come on, you have Jean Desjardins. He would make a great Napoleon, I guess.
He's too handsome for Napoleon. Napoleon wasn't very Was
But-
he?
But he had an average height for his time.
For his time. For those of you who don't know, it's an oversimplified joke. So, let's talk about The Last Duel. Do you want to? Is there anything about Ridley Scott that you want to say that you haven't?
Again, I don't like him as much anymore, but I do appreciate some of the work he has done. Like, I love Alien. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Definitely one of the top 10 favorite horror movies. I like Blade Runner a lot, even though I'm probably one of the very few people that think 2049 was better. Thelma and Louise, I like a lot.
Yeah.
Gladiator, I like quite a lot.
I don't.
Even though it hasn't aged well, I completely get that. It's just such a simple story told in a very elegant way.
I'm sorry, I need to say this, one of the worst Oscars ever given was to Russell Crowe for that movie.
What? Were you not entertained?
I was not entertained.
And
it's a weird movie. It's basically Ben-Hur, but told worse.
I guess so.
Guy falls from grace and has to go back up again.
Yeah.
In ancient Rome. That one was more religious than Gladiator,
Yeah.
though.
I mean, he did, like, it's in Ben-Hur where he meets Christ.
Yeah. It's because, I'm a changed man. Charlton Heston was in a lot of religious epics back then.
Yeah.
But he was Moses.
Yeah. Anyways, now that we've discussed Ridley in such a fast state, I should say.
Sorry?
No, it's okay. We can talk about The Last Duel and what it does right and what it doesn't do right.
First, let's talk about the first thing we both agree it doesn't do right.
Which is Ben Affleck.
Yeah, Ben Affleck.
And I've seen a lot of people praise him for this role.
They can go fuck themselves.
I do not know how. Dude was nominated for a Razzie.
Actually, it's another trend that the other actor in House of Gucci, he was also praised. I don't know why.
I can tell you why when we get there,
Yeah.
but anyway.
He's drunk.
Like really drunk.
We're talking about Ben Affleck, by the way, not the
Yes,
other
yes.
actor.
In every scene he is in, it's like, oh yeah, Charles de Magnet, yeah, I'm giving you this place. We go. Oh, do you want to come to this orgy I have here right now? Oh.
First of all, a little bit of a technical issue. Matt Damon is a better actor than Ben Affleck in general.
I agree with that.
But he has a goatee and a scar, and it looks kind of believable. Like, I can imagine Matt Damon being another person in that movie. Ben Affleck has a wig, and it's an obvious wig, and he has a very fake beard that is very obviously fake, and so it looks like he's from another movie. It looks like he walked in from the set of Monty Python and the Holy Grail and was given this role. And I know his character is one that we're supposed to hate, but
I didn't care to hate him in
Yeah.
the first place.
it's he was really bad.
The acting in Last Duel, I think, is very hit and miss. Like, the Driver is really good.
I like Damon too. I think Damon is really good.
Damon
too.
is fine, I think.
Julie Comer is good.
Jodie Comer is good. Affleck is bad.
Alex Lawfer is really bad.
Yeah.
Alex Lawfer plays the King Charles. I know he was the Mad King, but have some subtlety in his madness. He wasn't mad then. He was mad later.
No, apparently it was genetics.
I mean, they were a lot of inbred people back then.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. In that regard, it is very hit and miss. I think the biggest strength of this movie is, again, Scott's prowess in creating a fine-looking movie.
Yeah.
This movie looks absolutely phenomenal. I don't know who did the cinematography.
It was done by Dariusz Wolski.
There you go.
Yeah.
The scenes are quite stunning.
Another thing I love about Scott that I can see in a lot of other historical epics. Agreed, we do not make as much historical epics as we used to, but it doesn't look CG because it's not. Like, if an actor is in the mud, he probably found mud and put the actor in it.
I mean, in the nitty-gritty, it's not CG, but like overall, there's quite a lot of CGI used in his movies.
The thing is, if it's a castle, it looks like a castle. It feels like a castle. More importantly, it doesn't look like, we made the set and now we're gonna do it. I'm sure they made the set and they're gonna do it in it, but he has a way to make it look believable. It's the set design. He knows how to create that. And it's the same thing he did with Kingdom of Heaven, which this movie actually reminded me a lot of. Because that one also, castles are not lavish. You have to realize that castles are big, but they're dirty, they're dusty.
There's not a lot of lights in them.
Yeah.
The main source of light is usually the torches on the wall.
Yeah. So he sort of, how do you say, look at those details.
He has an eye for the details.
Yeah, he has an eye for them. To say, I'm going to show you a castle. I'm not going to show you what you think a castle should be. I'm going to show you a fucking castle. There is a scene in this movie. I mean, is it spoiler alert, I guess?
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Adam Driver's, I'm not going to say these names. All of them are French. I don't care. Adam Driver's character...
It's Jacques Leroy.
Fucking hell. Rapes Matt Damon's wife.
Yeah.
And even though...
I mean, that's the main driving part of the movie.
But, and I don't know how I say this...
Eloquently,
yeah. It actually felt real. Like an actual... Like you're watching an actual rape. When we're seeing it the third time. Not when Adam Driver is telling this story.
So this is the part of that I think our main difference comes from. Is that I don't think Scott is quite the nuanced and subtle director. For example...
Before we do, I'm sorry, we should have mentioned this. The movie is like told 3 times. It's like Russian.
Yeah, I was about to say that. The structure of the movie is one story from 3 perspectives. Oh, that sounds familiar. It's like our podcast. Anyway.
It's the next episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
Which is 3 movies.
The story is told from 3 perspectives: Matt Damon's, Jodie Comer's, and Adam Driver's.
And the movie actually, not so subtly, alludes to the fact that the Julie Comer's rendition of the truth is the truth.
Marguerite de Carouge.
Yeah, fuck you. it's that her version is the actual turn of events.
Yes.
Because the truth stays on for a couple seconds longer.
Yeah. Again, not subtle, Mr. Scott. And again, in that regard, I think that's the part that I just don't, that just didn't click with me in the movie. For example, how do I say this?
The rape scene.
Yes, I just don't want to get into it much. The difference isn't that big.
Okay, go ahead.
If you know what I mean. Like, for example, if I was a director, or if let's just say me, a better director, the camera angles would have been a bit more different. There are differences here, but they're not much.
Okay, I do understand what you mean. I don't see it as a problem. I see it as a deliberate choice. Because one of the things that we have to realize is the ending of the movie. Adam Driver begs Matt Damon that don't do it. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Your wife tricked me. I think that was the line.
What?
Your wife tricked me into...
No. Not that. He said, say you did it. I didn't do it. And then he...
pushes the
dagger
sword.
Yeah. Dagger or sword. Whatever. The duel ends.
Yeah.
And I think by doing that, I know the movie very not so subtly says, no, what Jodie Comer is saying is the truth. But by doing that, you're not... Basically, I think that part is the one that fucks it up. That 2 seconds the truth stays on. Because otherwise, you would just say, okay, which one is telling the truth? Because the camera isn't taking a side. So who is telling the truth?
No, the movie very deliberately, even not the whole truth thing, but in the mise en scène. Oh my god, I've turned into a jackass. Even in the way Scott directs the scene, it's telling that Marguerite is the one that's telling the truth. I don't know if you realize how the lighting looks on her in comparison to Driver in the court scene, for example.
I agree, but I think that 2 seconds is doing a lot of swaying. You know what I mean? Like if it wasn't there, you could have said, oh, this is the lighting scheme for Marguerite. This is the lighting scheme for Adam Driver.
Yeah.
So I think that was a deliberate choice. I think they fucked it up in editing by that 2 seconds. I know why they did it, and it's part of the product of the time because basically.
I actually watched the interview with the screenwriters.
Screenwriters were Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
No, Nicole Holofencer, if I said her name correctly, was also one of the screenwriters. And
okay, I'm sorry, I need to say this. One of the best reviews on Letterboxd for this movie was that, how do you like Duff apples?
Anyway, I was watching that interview with them, and they said that the parts of Driver and Damon was based on the book, but the part of Marguerite, Jodie Comer, was more fiction, and
I can understand why.
Yeah, it tried to have a more feminine point of view. I don't think that was conveyed well in the movie.
I can't disagree. The movie does seem preachy at times, which I think is more of a reaction to the times than it is, because Affleck has his own
problems, quote unquote.
Yeah, and so I think I do agree with that, but I do understand why it was fiction, because it's a medieval story. Of course, they're gonna write the guy's narrative. They're not gonna write the. By the way, it's based on truth. It's actually the last duel in medieval France.
Yeah.
Which
or
is
in the whole France, I think.
I don't know. I don't want some asshole come to us and say, no, there was a duel in like 14th, but that was with guns, so it wasn't.
Whatever.
It's called the Last Duel for fucking reason. I do understand what you mean. The thing is that the things you see as problems, I see as deliberate choices by Ridley Scott. And
So you're saying it's not a bug, it's a feature.
yeah, sadly enough, yeah, I'm saying it's not a bug, it's a feature. There are problems with the movie. Like, Ben Affleck is obviously a fucking problem, and he brings down the movie like a whole half a star for me. I'm talking letterboxd mannerism. And there are other stuff that I find kind of weird, but there are like so many again, why do we keep coming back to this the rape scene? It doesn't tell you I'm sorry, it does tell you the very little minor differences in the attitude of the characters, that how the guy sees himself and how the woman saw him. Like the guy says, oh no, she just laid there, took it. I was so good. Even at rape, I nailed it.
Yeah, maybe. I just didn't see that in the movie. That's the funny thing. Like, you say that, but I'm like, maybe...
I did see it, to be honest. Like, I'm not saying that I thought it was saying that. I saw it saying that because Jodie Comer in Adam Driver's version didn't really put up a fight. Do not take me wrong.
That's not... Yeah, we get it.
Yeah. It's based because in Adam Driver's head, she didn't trick him. She loved him.
Yeah.
Which...
That's sort of fucked up.
Yeah, yeah. And I do understand the movie's message in regards to, masculinity, all of that. I do get it. I really do. I don't think a lot of it was very well nuanced, but I do get it, and I do think it was told in a good way. Like it did come off as preachy towards the middle of it, but it wasn't as preachy as it could have been. I'm sorry.
I guess I get again, my problem I think is that I've seen better movie.
Rashomon is literally this.
No, not Rashomon. I know the storytelling is quite different from this movie,
because
but
that one's also about rape.
No, not Rashomon. Nightingale, which was directed by Jennifer Kent. That movie is about it's in colonial times. It happens in New Zealand, if I'm right. Or no, one of the Samoan Islands.
Oh, okay.
And it's about this Irish woman who was, what did it say when they throw someone to another country? I forgot the name.
Exiled.
Yes, she's exiled because she was a thief or something. Marries a guy, but is always under the influence of some officer. The officer, around half an hour into the movie, the officer rapes her, kills her child and her husband, and shenanigans ensue. Anyway, I think that movie, maybe it was the feminine touch that Jennifer Kent added. She also did another excellent movie, The Babadook.
Yeah.
Which, if you haven't seen,
remember that.
Please do. I don't know if it was because of those sensitivities that she did quite well in comparison to Scott. I like that movie quite a lot more than this. I think...
I do admit that the reason I felt close with Scott's movie was because I was putting myself in the guy's shoes. And it wasn't really about Julie Comer's character as it was about Matt Damon's character.
And his honor.
Not honor, though. It wasn't about honor.
I mean, why wasn't it? Like, she makes a point that you did this because of yourself, because of your fucking pride.
I agree. Yeah, he did it because of his pride, not because of his honor. He was basically, I mean that it wasn't like, oh, you fucked my wife, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Oh, you mean that's honor because it has a more positive sense? It might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
It's like, yeah, no, I'm gonna do it because I fucking hate you.
Yeah.
And you just gave me a fucking reason to do it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, is there anything else? I mean, okay, do you recommend the movie or not? It's long, by the way. It's
2.5 hours.
Yeah, 2.5 hours.
Initially I wasn't gonna recommend it, but I've seen a lot of people like it, so maybe you will like it too. I was okay with it. I don't think it. Some people really, really highly praise it, which I think it's not kind of that. But if you, if you're in for a medieval adventure,
oh yeah,
do watch it.
It's a great historical epic. Like, if you like these sort of historical epics, you should watch it.
Yeah.
Like, no doubt about it. If you like Kingdom of Heaven, definitely watch this one. You're gonna hate me. It's one of the best movies of 2021 for me.
I mean, there are other reasons to hate you. This is one of them. Yeah.
It wasn't as good as The Green Knight, which was also medieval.
Yeah.
Or The French Dispatch, but it was one of the... It really spoke to me in a way that I don't want to examine. So,
I hear that.
I guess we need to take a break, right?
Yeah, let's take a break.
Discuss one.
My ideas.
Oh, you have ideas?
Oh, Wolf. Does an elephant shit in the jungle? I was born with a gift. I'm an artist. My father, he just won't see it.
But these are yours? How come the family doesn't know you have a gift? Domenico, did you know Paolo had a gift?
I'm afraid I did not, sir.
No.
Well, we both know he's blind in one eye and deaf in the other, so...
We're back.
Oh.
Now let's talk about House of Gucci. Even the name.
I'm starting to regret this decision that we made.
So in the same year, Ridley Scott.
Okay, let's stop it. I did suggest to Ali that we do these whole parts of House of Gucci in Italian accents, but I guess I'm just like too embarrassed, either too embarrassed or just like it's going to be so annoying, man.
Yep. House of Gucci. First of all, why did you want to see it?
Why did I want to see it? I didn't want to see this.
Like, before the episode, you didn't have no intention of seeing it? Come on.
I mean, it's called House of Gucci. Why shouldn't I see it? I saw it obviously because of the fucking Italian accents.
That was your draw in. Like, oh, I'm gonna watch it. For me, it was a specific person.
But the problem is that, like, this is a problem not just with House of Gucci, but with Last Duel 2 that I didn't mention. Fucking language, man. Like, your story takes place in medieval France. Thank God people don't have any French accents, or that would have been unbearable. But just make a French movie. Hire French actors.
To be fair, I think it's a school of thought in making historical epics. I'm not trying to say it like that, but it's not just Scott. There are a bunch of movies do this.
Yeah, I know. And I'm saying it's not good.
Oh, I don't mind it. I think it's one of those things that we sort of agreed upon as a human consciousness. You're like, yeah.
They speak English.
Yeah,
this is something
English.
that I'm also going to reference in the next episode, but we'll get to that.
Oh,
Because you know exactly what I mean.
yeah.
Anyways, they speak English,
Vita.
royalty English. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Whatever. Even though in one part of the movie, in The Last Duel, there's this part where they're invading Scotland, and Scottish people did speak English, so how are they going to speak to each other? Anyways, I'm not gonna go too deep into that. One of the biggest problems with this movie is the accents.
Yeah.
They're terrible by so many standards too. Like,
It's distracting, and honestly, nobody could escape it. Like, none of the actors, I mean.
no.
Driver has to speak with an Italian accent. Lady Gaga is famously doing a horrible Italian accent.
And she's Italian too. Like,
Yeah. Pacino is being Pacino, so, he's always had a sort of Italian undertone. He's
yeah,
just
I guess.
playing it up. Leto is Mario. We get to him. Even Jeremy Irons, like, he's in 10 minutes of the movie. 9 minutes.
Maybe even more, like 20 minutes.
20 minutes. 19 minutes of it, he doesn't speak with an Italian accent. You have ideas. That 1 minute in the restaurant, he has to speak with an Italian accent, and it's awful.
Yeah, Scott was probably like, Jeremy, you need to, up the Italian a bit. Oh, you
Exactly.
mean like this?
And it's so weird. Irons is not a very good accent guy in general. He always sounds British.
Yeah.
But here, it's so weird to hear him talk with a
Try and talk with
Italian accent. You see that guy in that movie, it was a me.
It was a me.
But, and then, since he's British, you sort of, it was a me, sire. It was a me, my chap.
Lad.
Lad. He lives in Ireland, so it might have been. By the way, Keanu Hinds didn't get an Oscar. I'm gonna say it, when you're listening to this, it's been a while, but Keanu Hinds didn't get an Oscar nomination. Go fuck yourself. Judi Dench got, and I'm happy about that, but Keanu Hinds
On
didn't
the
get
other
it.
hand, Kenneth Branagh himself got like 7 nominations or something.
Oh, fuck that movie. Fuck Belfast.
I haven't seen it yet. Let's get back to House of Gucci.
House of Gucci.
What do you think of the movie?
I think it's a mess. I think it's a mess from start to finish. First of all, as I put eloquently in my letterboxd review, what was the point, Ridley? What was the fucking point? Why did we need to see this movie? First of all, you don't. So, I'm sorry, can I?
Oh,
Something.
yes. This is lemonade, and if you
Nice.
want some,
Make some.
yes.
We can share the recipe.
I mean, it's literally some lemon sugar, I think, and water. But cheers.
So, it's pointless. The movie, in a philosophical sense, is pointless. Because by the end of it, none of the characters have any meaningful changes. The story makes no fucking sense. And even the order of the stuff is arbitrary. Like, we see Jared Leto pitch a bunch of stuff to Jeremy Irons, and then the next scene is Maurizio's baby is born, Adam Driver's baby is born, and then we go back and Jeremy Irons is about to die.
There are some editing mistakes, and
Oh, yeah.
they're quite bad. Like, I haven't seen these kinds of mistakes in a big movie in a while, if I'm honest.
To be honest, it kind of feels like I've said it before about Irishman. I was saying in Irishman you had Pacino and De Niro doing some of the best performances in modern times.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking, in the lunch break, Pacino would say to De Niro, "Okay, I'm gonna go to this movie lot next door. I'm supposed to be in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood." And De Niro would say, "Okay, while you do that, I'm gonna be in Joker." And so it feels like they did the paycheck for that and then came and gave the actual performance for The Irishman. It's the same thing for this one. I feel like he was making The Last Duel and he was, oh, we're gonna do it like this, and then, oh, it's lunch hour. Adam, come on. We're gonna go make House of Gucci.
Adam, change your set.
Yeah. I think that's because Adam Driver doesn't have a beard in Last Duel. He does have a beard.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's obvious which of these two movies he actually gave a shit about.
I do think he gave a shit. If I want to give my opinion, there was this one review that I can't remember who wrote it, but the summary was exactly the thought I had after watching the movie. Pompous and yet not pompous enough. Like, when you think the book that this movie is based on is called House of Gucci, a story of can you just scroll and see? A sensational.
Oh, I'm sorry, this is The Last Duel. If you're still in The Last Duel, we need to go to House of Gucci. The House of Gucci is a sensational story of murder, madness, glamour, and greed.
Like, see how, glittery, how flimsy that title sounds, and
sleazy. It feels like a B movie title.
And Scott doesn't play on that. Like, I think, despite the fact that I don't like the guy, someone like Baz Luhrmann would have been perfect for this movie.
Yeah.
Like those flashy cuts constantly. Like I'm thinking of The Great Gatsby.
Yeah.
In contrast, I think Great Gatsby with Scott would have been much better movie.
They made the wrong movie.
Yeah. Like someone like him with that flashy cuts and those flashy clothes. One of the things that I really, really didn't like about this movie was how weak the fashion sense was.
Oh yeah, that was I was gonna say. I don't think Scott really cares about fashion.
Yeah, me neither. Like, another movie that came out actually last year too, Cruella, was about fashion for a lot of it. I haven't watched the movie fully, but bits and pieces that I've seen. The fashion sense was quite strong. Like Cruella herself and the main villain played by Emma Thompson.
To be honest, for a movie called House of Gucci, there is a lot less leather in it than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, it's essential.
Yeah, it needs. Okay, you have to understand. It needs to be like the yellow pages of the newspaper. It needs to be, oh, this guy is dating this guy. Oh, it needs to be like a reality show, and it's not. Which I mean. Actually, I need to say, which is why Irons, Driver, Pacino, and Lady Gaga, they feel like they're in a movie together, and then Jared Leto feels like he's in another fucking movie and comes in. Leto is bad.
Leto is really upping his antiques, which is, again, just as you said, in contrast with what this movie is going for.
Yeah.
Like, he's comical.
He's Mario. There's an elephant shit in the jungle.
The elephant is elifant.
And he's fat and he has a mustache, so he looks like and he's balding, so he should wear a hat.
Yeah.
Ergo Mario.
Mario isn't bald though.
Have you seen him without his hat?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That is unfortunate.
Okay. That was my argument. Well, talking about the cast though, and I can't believe I'm saying this, Lady Gaga wasn't actually that bad. If you don't look at the accent. Like the facial expressions, the general sleaziness in her character.
But Jane Campion thinks she should be an Oscar nominee. Who might deny it?
We can't deny Jane Campion.
I mean, she's a much bigger, a director than I probably will ever be.
You can make a piano.
I haven't seen that movie yet.
Oh, it's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good. Power of the Dog is also really good. Do watch it, people.
Yeah, please.
And I don't think Lady Gaga was that bad. I don't think Adam Driver was that bad. I think Pacino and Irons were probably the best parts of the movie for me. Pacino is weirdly fat in this. I know it's not a criticism or anything, but he's
I think
weird.
he was always fat. Like,
No,
especially post Heat.
I don't know.
I cannot
it's
remember
like-
a single role where he wasn't fat.
The thing is that his stomach is fat.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Like
His
wait,
legs
what?
are skinny, but his stomach is just a couple of meters in front of him.
And it's all natural, by the way.
Yeah,
Mr. Man.
he's gotten fat.
Oh, jeez.
I think it's beer. It's a beer belly.
Beer belly?
Yeah. Pacino was actually not too bad in the movie. Again, all of the stuff that I'm saying, you have to realize these characters are incredibly underdeveloped. Like, the characters suck. I'm just talking about the performances here. And like Driver, I do understand what he's trying to do. I'll get to him, by the way. His character is honestly a mess. He changes on a coin, basically. Irons is, of course, my sweetheart, but he wasn't that bad. He was barely in the movie to begin with.
Sweet, sweet paychecks, my friend.
Yeah, because he wanted to do Munich: The Edge of War. And I need to watch that movie, by the way. I've heard a lot of good things. And Lady Gaga, again, as I said, I really believed her in this role.
Believed?
I didn't think I was seeing Lady Gaga, to be honest, and that's a huge thing. Again, hopefully we'll do it someday. We talk about A Star Is Born.
Yeah.
But A Star Is Born has a weird thing because Barbra Streisand also played that movie, and Barbra Streisand is an awful actress. And so for me to see a pop star and not think of that pop star is kind of a high compliment. It's like, yeah, I do think she's Patrizia Reggiani.
Reggiani, I think.
Reggiani.
was the name.
Fuck. Patrizia Gucci. I don't think I'm watching Lady Gaga do an accent. I'm thinking I'm watching Patrizia Reggiani do an accent, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. About acting, I quite agree with you on most of the cases. I think, again, I actually think Driver is the like, I really like Adam Driver as an actor. He's most of the time, 90% of the time, the best part of the cast in most of the stuff he has played in. Here, I think it's like that too. Pacino is Pacino, you know, he's like, that sleazy dude. My, no, what is it? My nephew.
My nephew.
Maurice, come give a eye to your uncle.
One of the scenes though that I sort of realized Pacino can still be Pacino was when he yells at Jared Leto, "No, no!"
When
no,
he has sold the
no,
company,
no."
his shares.
Yeah. Look at the sole of that shoe. That is a gold leaf. And Irons also has a scene like that. That scarf. I designed it. Look at it. Study it. By the way, I know this is weird for me to say, but there is an actor in this movie called Jack Houston. Is it Jack?
I think it's Jack Houston.
Yeah, Jack Houston. He plays Domenico De Sole. I don't know how much you know him. He was in a bunch of stuff. He was with Irons in 2 different movies. He was in Night Train to Lisbon, which for those of you who haven't seen it, it's like a powerhouse of Shakespearean actors. It's Irons, Jack Houston, it's Christopher Lee, it's Bruno Ganz. And then in a comedy called An Actor Prepares, Irons and he were together. And since in this movie he plays Irons' right-hand man until
he
he dies, I kind of think Irons brought him. It almost feels like
Hello, Jack.
Hello, Jack.
You want to come to an ensemble cast?
Have you seen the Words, the movie The Words?
No, I haven't.
It's Bradley Cooper and Jeremy Irons.
Yeah.
And Bradley Cooper was talking in an interview about hearing Jeremy Irons' voice. He said, we were making this movie and then there was a voice message and went, I'll do it. So Scar coming.
I'll do it. No, I can't. Right now, I can't do it.
The thing about Jeremy Irons' accent, and I'm saying this because I've studied it a lot, you cannot open your whole mouth. You should do it. What would that make you? A monkey's uncle.
Monk.
And look at that. Study it.
Yeah.
And the voice. Irons is a great actor, but the thing is, oh, by the way, Salma Hayek is in this movie.
Yes.
For some
very
fucking reason.
weird role. And to
Apparently there was a sex scene they cut out. Lady Gaga said so.
Really?
Yeah.
Between her and Salma Hayek?
Apparently.
I don't mind watching that.
Yeah. Scott.
Really? Really is the Scott cut?
And the movie feels...
Saying that, don't release the Scott cut because this movie's too fucking long.
I mean, it's shorter than the Snyder cut.
Yes, by an hour and a half, but that one was 4 hours, so that's not saying much now, is it? It's just...
It's too long.
It's too long and it's a bit structureless. Like...
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not one that goes to familiar structure of screenplay when I discuss, stories. Like, oh, you have got to have a hero and we should see him all the time. But truth is, this movie doesn't have a hero.
No, it doesn't. But what you said about the structure, oh my god, I can't believe it. We were talking about it like half an hour ago. I was saying that scenes just sort of happen without any rhyme or reason, and it sort of feels like, okay, now we're gonna see a scene with Mario. Now we're gonna see a scene with Al Pacino. Now we're gonna see a scene with Jeremy Irons. If you want to see the movie's problems in structure, put it in an editing software, change the scenes around. It's the exact same. It doesn't matter where the scene comes in because you don't know between this cut and next cut, is it a week later, a year later, a day later, an hour later?
Yeah, like the story is told in a span of like 15 years, 20 years?
Yeah, I think so.
You do not have any sense of time.
I mean, 1978 till 1997.
97, okay,
Like
20
2 years.
years.
Yeah. 7 is the court.
Yeah.
2 years later,
Yeah.
1995.
You don't have any sense of time or
Place. Like, where was that ski trip? Was it in Switzerland?
I think it was supposed to be in Switzerland.
Was it though?
Like, how did Adam Driver meet his friends there? Like, did they just appear and like, dude, we're up on the Alps. Please, you want to come in or something? I don't know.
The Iranian version of that. This is from our Iranian listeners.
Yes. And that does hurt the movie a lot. Like, there's no clear plot line.
And there is no character development either.
Is it about the greed of the Gucci family? Is it about...
What greed?
Like, the fact that, Mauricio is, like, the whole company and shit like that.
But that was because of Lady Gaga.
He turns greedful throughout the movie.
In one fucking scene. He runs from the feds. He goes to his Swiss house. He looks at the picture of a photo. The next scene...
I'm greedy.
The scene before, I'm not greedy. Next scene, I'm greedy.
I'm a loving husband. I'm not I hate you now.
Yeah. And there is no reason for that because again, none of these characters have developments or arcs. Or I'm not saying they should have arcs. I'm just saying when you don't have a plot, at the very least, give me a character that develops into this story. But no, there is this great movie by a very horrible human being. The movie is Wall Street by Oliver Stone. For those of you who don't know Oliver Stone, good. Don't look him up. He's a horrendous human being. But Wall Street is about greed. You see not Michael Sheen.
Michael Douglas.
No. Michael Sheen's son.
Charlie.
Charlie Sheen and Michael Douglas. You see how Michael Douglas gets Charlie Sheen to be greedy. And it's such a great movie in that regard. This one is not there. You don't see the influence of Lady Gaga on Maurizio.
Yeah, it's not apparent, I guess.
Yeah.
In that sense.
Other than, I guess, first of all, the characters just change their mind in like a second. 1 second, Irons is disowning his son. The next one is, oh, I'm dying. Come on, I love you. What happened to Irons? Just because he was dying? So show him that he's...
And he suddenly, like... they're talking about something that's like his kid. And then, cut! He's dead inside the casket.
Yeah.
That's nice.
He dies an hour in, and I can't believe we have to spend an hour and a half in an Irons-less world.
With all of these being said, I think there are some good individual scenes in this movie, which I liked, at least. For example, the scene where Lady Gaga and Adam Driver are in the car, coming back from the uncle's birthday. Yeah. That scene's fun.
Yeah.
It's quite funny. Or...
One of my favorite scenes of the movie, again, it's an Irons scene, is Jared Leto talking to Jeremy Irons.
Yes, that's also fun. The way, Irons disowns the dude and says, "You're an incompetent bastard. Just fuck off."
I'm sorry, I need to analyze that scene because I watched that scene a lot. Irons, I love Irons. I have an obsession with the guy. But the thing is that scene needs to be the relationship between Irons and the rest of the family. He needs to be, at the beginning, there's this guy and we very much respect him. And then he slowly destroyed them.
Yeah.
Like with Jared Leto, he's like, yeah. Do not show this to people. Just keep it locked away. You made me and your father agree on one thing, and that is your incompetence. But he doesn't have a character. He's just Driver's dad.
He's an archetype. The patriarch archetype.
He's not even dad, though.
Why?
Because that's Al Pacino.
Okay, so you can say the failing lover archetype because, he's always constantly in remembrance of his dead wife.
Yeah. And his movie career.
Yeah. Again, I think there are some individual scenes I like.
To be honest, there are some good stuff about the movie.
Adam Driver's credits and Lady Gaga's credits even more. The scene where Patricia suddenly appears in front of Adam Driver's home and shows the album is kind of goofy, but
it has I hate to say this, it has a familiar thing in terms of Iranian culture.
Yeah.
Like I saw that and I said, oh, I know women who did that.
Yes, it's very nonchalant, I guess I can say. I don't know. What else?
Actually, another thing I want to say, Gaga and Driver did have chemistry. Like you could say, yeah, at some point they did like each other.
The chemistry was there, certainly.
Yeah. Which is more the other people that have very big chemistry were Jared Leto and his fat suit. I can't get...
Or maybe his bald head.
Maybe his bald... What the fuck was that?
You know, if Jared Leto wasn't pretty, that is exactly what he would have turned out to. I swear. And he hates the role of, like, he was like, I know I'm made for this role.
Fucking hell. There's an elephant. She is in the jungle.
Elephant.
For those of you who don't know what that refers to, it's again that scene of Irons and Leto. And Leto says it exactly like this. There's an elephant. She is in the jungle. And it's a me, a Mario. Oh my god.
It's so exaggerated.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's funny to me.
It is funny. The problem is it doesn't fucking belong in the movie.
Yeah, probably not.
It's, again, to quote Ben Affleck, came from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. This feels like it came from Monty Python's Meaning of Life. And even not that, because I think John Cleese would have had more self-restraint not to speak like that. There was actually a very stereotypical French waiter in that movie played by Eric Idle that talks about, my mama said, Gaston, when you have to do some... This is Italian.
Yeah.
But you know, it feels like that. So, it's such a mess that at the end of the day, House of Gucci, I don't know why I watched it.
You think it's a mess script-wise, so not like... It's not that much on Ridley Scott's shoulders. The problem.
Who wrote the script?
Two people. If I remember.
Becky Johnston and Roberto Benti Vagina.
No, what?
Benti Vegna.
Betty Vegna. Oh, whatever.
Yeah. I do think there are editing mistakes and stuff like that. That is on Ridley Scott's shoulder. But I don't think this script could have been made any better. That's the problem. This script, in its current state, this is as best as you can get it. I would have agreed, yeah, Baz Luhrmann would have made it more fun, but I would have still have the same problem, but with more fun.
But more fun.
Yeah, but more fun, yeah.
Yeah, I think this wasn't something that Scott was... Scott's style certainly doesn't fit into this kind of story. Yeah. It needs to be...
I know why he did it, because he did All the Money in the World, and All the Money in the World is about greed. It's about one guy with an ungodly amount of money, which is J. Paul Getty, for those of you who don't know, who didn't... Do you know the story?
No.
Okay, it's a little bit of a detour. It's based on a true story again. They kidnap J. Paul Getty's grandson. He doesn't pay.
Ruffalo, which I think was...
I don't know the name of the...
No. The actor in the movie.
Oh, I don't remember that either. Christopher Plummer is J. Paul Getty.
Yeah, Christopher Plummer.
He doesn't pay. And they don't ask for much. And he's a fucking billionaire.
And he's like, nope.
And the story is about that. It's about the child's mother trying to know, we need to do something. There are a bunch of other subplots, but so he knows how to make a good story about greed, about familial problems, about House of Getty. Why not House of Gucci?
So, do you recommend House of Gucci?
I recommend seeing the Jeremy Irons box. It's 20 minutes. Think of it as a short movie about this guy who loses his son and then dies.
So that's it. Movie over.
Yeah. I don't think I recommend it, to be honest. Because I honestly don't see a point to seeing this movie. Just read the Wikipedia article. It's the same.
Yeah, if I were to say so myself, I think if you're a fan of these individual actors, in particular if you're a fan of Lady Gaga, I think it's worth watch. But besides that, I don't think so.
If you're a fan of Jared Leto, What is wrong with you? Who hurt you?
Like, especially Lady Gaga and Adam Driver, because the others aren't that much in the movie.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga and Adam Driver are quite.
Lady Gaga more than Adam Driver, actually.
Yeah, again, this is the problem with the whole main hero thing. Like, for like the last 45 minutes, 35 minutes of the movie, Lady Gaga disappears.
Yeah. We see
And
Adam Driver.
Yeah, and then Adam Driver for like the middle half of the movie is nowhere to be seen.
By the way,
That
that
is weird.
Iraqi dude did not look Iraqi.
Wait, which the friend of the
No, the guy that buys Gucci.
like wasn't he supposed to be American?
No, he was Iraqi. He was Middle Eastern.
No, like he had two friends who were Iraqi, but the whole
No, his name was
you're not gonna find anything there.
Nemir Kirdar. This was the guy.
Such a
Iraqi
bad,
Turkmen.
such a bad name now.
Nemir Kirdar. But yeah, he was supposed to be Middle Eastern basically. And he didn't look Middle Eastern.
No, he didn't.
As a Middle Eastern guy, I'm offended.
Yeah, fuck you.
And also, why do you put a British guy to play an Italian?
Or an American guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just as I said, you don't recommend it. I recommend it only to the people who like those actors and actresses.
I'm gonna say,
That's it.
if you want to watch a 2021 Ridley Scott movie, watch The Last Duel.
Yeah, it's a objectively better movie, even though I don't like it that
Yeah.
much.
It's not a mess, actually. At least it knows what it wants to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Join us next week for a very marvelous episode.
I love the segues, man. Take care, everyone.